Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista. We are on week one, technically week one of the Every Bits Count challenge. I've actually been doing it for a couple of weeks already. So this is the first week of August, so it is officially the start of the challenge. So today we have quite a bit of things that we need to get preserved. Not all of them are going to be canning projects. One of them is going to be super fun, and I really wanted to do it last year and I completely forgot to do it. So this year we're going to do it. We got this little table of stuff that we need to kind of get preserved. So the tomatoes, that's simple. I can't really do very much with those, so I'm going to just get those in the freezer. This big guy is all jalapeno peppers. I'm wondering if we should actually go outside and see if there's any more on the plant, because last time I checked, that plant was loaded. I would rather get them all dealt with in one step versus me just doing this batch and then going out and picking and doing another batch. You can see a lot of them are red, so they're very, very hot. And they've actually been sitting here for probably a little under a week, and this whole back pantry area smells like jalapeno peppers. So I know that those things are super hot. So my plan with those is to make just a pickled jalapeno. Really, really easy to do. It's a water bath canning recipe. I need to go out to the garage because I actually need to grab one thing in the garage fridge. And since we're going out, we might as well go and look and see what the jalapeno plants look like. So I got my good old Lowe's bucket. This has been my harvesting bucket lately. It's funny because at the beginning of the season, you start with little cute little baskets and you bring in your daily haul. And then midway through the season, you crank out the 5-gallon buckets because that's what's required. And then slowly we'll work our way back to the little tiny baskets. We're gonna grab some banana peppers because we're also gonna get these preserved today. Normally my preservation method for banana peppers is just pickled banana peppers, and you use the exact same recipe that you use for the pickled jalapenos. It's actually really versatile, that recipe. You can do banana peppers with it, jalapeno peppers, and I even do my pepperoncinis with it. It works for all of them. I may have actually already shared it on a video with you guys, but we'll just do it again because it is one of my staple. Oh, I thought I just seen a turkey out. Did I see a turkey out? I don't think I did. We have our turkeys out now. So we move this fence every now and then. This is a pretty big area for them because we only have 9 birds. When we ordered our meat birds, we got a surprise chick with McMurray, and she was with the meat birds, but since our meat birds are now been processed, we had to put her somewhere because she's still too small to go with the other hens. So now her friends are the turkeys. So that's her right there. She gets along with the turkeys perfect. These guys follow me around everywhere I go. I can walk this way and they follow me. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just like to come out here and do this. Just walk around the fence. They are definitely happy to be outside. So we have the coop open there, and then they can just go in there if it rains, or that's where we keep their food and water also. This fence is electrified, so I'm not gonna go in there with them right now because to turn the fence off, otherwise that would hurt. So this is the back garden. It's very, very sad back garden right now. My tomato plants are definitely done. I really just need to rip them out, but it's hard to rip them out because they're still producing. Now that the weather has cooled down a little bit, we've still got lots of tomatoes, so I'm not quite ready to rip them out, even though I really should because they're pretty much dead. Something actually got in my back garden and I don't know what it is. I'm thinking it's either a mouse or something that burrows, because I have actually had to pull 4 pepper plants that were doing beautiful one day, and then the next day they were just completely dead. So I had some bell peppers there. I had to pull them because they just started to die. And now my ground cherry. Like, this was perfectly healthy the other day and now it's just doing this. It's really, really weird. I don't know what it is, but it also got all of these pepper plants that were here. These were jalapeno ones. I'm just hoping it leaves my shishito pepper alone because I really like that. But these are all of the jalapenos. So let's get some off of here because I definitely see a lot of red ones. Some of them are really, really small. We'll pick them anyways. And you can tell they're ready because of all of the cracking on them. That is a sign that your jalapenos are ready to be picked. It's also a sign that they're very, very hot. They just literally skipped the green stage and went right to red. That heat we had. These ones right here are called a pumpkin spice jalapeno, and they will turn all orange. So these are not ready to get picked yet because they still have green on them. Let's see, yeah, all of them still have green on them. These plants right here, these ones, this one's getting really big. These ones are a roselle or a hibiscus, but these ones are really, really good for tea, but they haven't started to set any flowers yet. And this one right here is a snacking pepper. It's called Pippin's. I can't remember. I'll leave it below. Let's see if this one's ready. You want to pick them when they're this color. When they're this color, they don't have a lot of flavor in them. But once they get to this color, they are pretty good. They just taste like a snacking pepper, like a little orange bell pepper. They're really delicious. These ones right here are Golden Cow Wonder, and this is what happened from the extreme heat that we got. A lot of my peppers got sunburnt, and then also the bugs got at them. I need to come out and put some diametric earth on them, but they still have lots of time to grow. It is just the beginning of August. And I really have to remind myself that peppers where I live, I am in South Central Kentucky, so I'm technically like zone 7AB. It depends on the day. But peppers in my area, they don't really start to take off until mid-August. It always gets me every single year. I'm expecting to have a beautiful harvest in July because I see everybody else posting all of these peppers. And then come mid-August, my peppers just take off and they just get huge. So I just have to remind myself, I'm not in my pepper season yet. I'm at the very beginning of it. So soon enough, I will just be drowning in peppers and I'll be excited. I'm actually pretty excited about these guys. These ones are a Vusky. I don't know how to say it. I'll, again, leave it below for you, but they're a red grilling pepper. Super, super delicious. I have 2 of those plants. And then this one right here is a Keystone bell pepper from M.I. Gardner. They're just a sweet bell pepper. You can see these are some that just did not make it. I just leave them here to compost. That one got really bad sunburnt. I don't really like green peppers. I just find them kind of bland. We definitely prefer to have the colored peppers. So like orange or red, yellow, all those colors, we prefer them. So I always let my peppers go red. Even with varieties like the Golden Cow Wonder, they will all start green and you just have to let them sit on the plant and then they will eventually ripen. I have heard that you can actually pick them and they will ripen inside, but I have not ever had luck with doing that. They always just stay green. I really need to get out here at night and look for hornworms and armyworms because this is what's happening. They just eat my tomatoes. Let's go and give this guy to the turkeys. Do they clue in that it's there? Maybe. I have some honeydews there that did not get properly pollinated, so they're just not doing well. Plus, if you just see that plant, it's not doing well either. I'm gonna have to pull that out. I did replant some cucumbers in there. I had cucumbers in here too, but again, the heat just killed the cucumbers and they weren't getting properly pollinated either. So you can tell a cucumber's not been properly pollinated by the way it looks. This could be either heat or improper pollination. So the plant just didn't get enough pollinators to it. I've heard that it needs to get touched 10 times by a pollinator in order for it to pollinate correctly. This guy obviously did not, but plus, see, again, this one also. I'll still eat them, but They're just look wonky. That heat last week was something else. We have never ever experienced heat that bad since moving here. It was intense. I think one day we got up to 129 degrees. That is with the humidity. So that's not just the thermostat setting. I think the thermostat setting said 101, but with the Humidex it was 129. It was insanely hot. And that's why a lot of my stuff just pittered out and died. It was like, we can't hang with this weather. So one nice thing about living here in this zone is that I have an opportunity to do a fall garden. So the cucumbers I replanted yesterday, those are a variety that takes 55 to 60 days to grow. So I'll be able to get a fall harvest out of those cucumbers, which is nice because then my dill can grow again and I'll be able to make pickles. Just gonna have to be patient and wait for the cucumbers. Ooh, yay, no bugs. We'll bring this in and almost no bugs, but that's hardened off, so that'll be fine. So we got some stuff over here. Oh my gosh, I cannot win lately. I'm wondering if I should pick this one at least. It's still green though. We got a couple watermelons. These watermelons right here are orange jello watermelons. They are not ready yet. I checked this thing and it is still very green. You want to make sure that this thing is completely dead before you pick it. And also the little spot on it, I'll show you over here because there's one that I actually need to pick. This one is a seedless variety. We picked one the other day and it's so delicious. But you see how this is all like starting to go orange, not orange, but this is not super white, and this thing right here is completely dead. That tells me that this watermelon is good to pick. So I'll probably come out and pick it tomorrow. We picked one 2 days ago and it was 12 pounds. It was amazing. It's so juicy and delicious. I got another dead pepper plant. This I think was heat. I don't think this was anything other than the heat. I need to get over here and water this. This is another jalapeno. It's just not looking happy. I need to get out here and spray them with some neem oil. If you spray them at night with a little bit of neem oil and dish soap, it tends to keep the little like flea beetles and gnats off of your plants. I don't know what's eating those. I really need to get some friendly garden spiders in here. I love when I see the wolf spiders, or I call them garden spiders, or Charlotte. Like Charlotte's Web. I love seeing those because they tend to help a lot with the insects, and I don't really have to worry about spraying stuff because nature is helping me, but I'm not seeing any spiders over there. So I'm gonna have to get out here and spray them because otherwise I'm just gonna keep saying, the bugs are getting it. So I ended up picking this canary melon. It is still a little bit green, but this one went all moldy and split. So I don't want to chance it. So I just picked this one. It's probably a little bit too early, but that's okay. Okay, let's go and give this to the turkeys. Okay, hopefully this will break. Watch out. Yes. There you go. These guys are my little composters. Don't go near the fence. You'll get zapped. Go have your melon. Go eat your melon. All right, so we got a couple more peppers to process. We'll bring in our probably not right to eat melon. There was just some goldfinch birds. I wish I could have showed you guys. We have so many beautiful birds here. I'm gonna put this actually in the bucket. Oh, tomato. Bucket of food. The fact that I can just go to my backyard and pick my groceries is a feeling that I will never, ever get tired of. I love it. Went and grabbed some gloves from my garage. This is my last pair I have, so I need to go and get some more today. I would highly recommend wearing gloves to do this project. I did this project one time without wearing gloves, and I will forever wear them now. Because these peppers, they are hot, they get on your hands, and then your hands start burning, and then if you accidentally touch your face or anything else, that will start burning. It's just, wear gloves. Just take it from me. So we have all of these jalapenos. Let's weigh them and see. We'll use my shipping scale. We'll zero this out. This might not be a big enough bowl. £6, 1 ounce. That's a pretty good first harvest for jalapenos. I've got my seed packets out here because I need to go and get some more green beans planted. These ones are a variety that take 60 days, so I will still have enough time to get these planted. This one is 55 days, so I'm gonna go and put these in the ground probably this afternoon. Green beans are on my list to get canned this year. I don't have a lot of jars left, so I really need to get them canned. And the Kentucky pole wonders that I planted, broken record time, they died. They just didn't do really well. On Facebook, I'm on a whole bunch of Kentucky gardening pages, and a lot of people are saying that their garden is just not doing good this year. And I think it's the combination. We started out with a very, very cool summer and a very, very, very wet beginning. And a lot of these plants that are dying do not like all of that water. So they just didn't get off to a good start. So I'm pretty sure it's not just me that's having a really bad gardening year. I think it's everybody in my area has just been affected by it. Okay, so we've got our jalapenos here. Those ones we're gonna do pickled jalapenos with. And then the banana peppers that we have, we are actually going to get some freezer meals prepped with these guys. One recipe that I love is stuffed banana peppers. It is so delicious. It uses sausage. If you don't want to use sausage, you can use like a ground turkey in it. You could use ground beef. You could use whatever meat you want in it, but we love it. So I am going to use those banana peppers, and I am going to make hopefully 3 casserole dishes of stuffed banana peppers and then just wrap them and put them in my freezer. So we're gonna get that project done first, and then we will do the pickled jalapenos. I'm glad we went out when we did because the sun is trying to pop back out, which doesn't make for good videoing. Plus I like to go and pick stuff when the sun isn't fully out. So some of these peppers are, we've got some marks on them, but that's fine. We'll open them up and see. So we're gonna get these guys washed. Oh, my plate stand again. Some cold water going. Dump this out. Give them a good wash. Some of them definitely went a little bit longer than they should have outside. And these are a sweet banana pepper. They are not hot. But you could do this with spicy too, but we grow the mild kind. Because we emptied our bucket, I am also going to use this bucket as my chicken scrap bucket. So I'm going to put all of my seeds and my pepper tops in here, and they'll just go out to the chickens. Again, these are not spicy peppers. Chickens do not have a heat gauge, like they can't taste heat. They don't have that same sensory that we do. Now, it does heat their insides up though. So if I give them too many, I might just compost them because I don't want them to overheat out there. They can't taste the heat, but they can definitely, it will warm their body up. So we might not give them the seeds. We might just put those directly into the compost. But the banana pepper ones, those are perfectly fine because those are not a hot pepper. All right, so we're gonna start by just cutting the top of the banana pepper off. These are not the freshest because I picked these about a week ago. They're a little soft, but that's okay. It's not the best either. And I'm not wearing gloves because, again, these are not hot. I keep repeating that. All right, and then we're gonna take a little tiny spoon, and then we're just gonna scrape the seeds out of here. We'll wash these out, but we'll just try to get as much as we can out with the spoon. If you need to, you can even split the pepper like this to get the seeds out. It also makes it easier to stuff if you split the pepper like that. Especially with these ones that are kind of curvy. The recipe says to try to use a straight pepper, but you know, we work with what we have, and I grow things organically and they don't grow perfect. So we're gonna use some curved peppers and they taste perfectly fine. We got them all cleaned out. So what we're gonna do now is just give them a good rinse and get any of those seeds that may be in there. Kind of shake them a little bit, rinse them out. So we're gonna get the filling started now. So I have 1 pound of a mild sausage. This is just like an Italian sausage. It is pork, but like I said before, you can use turkey if you want. You could use ground beef. I just like the Italian sausage taste, so you can definitely use like an Italian sausage ground turkey, which I actually want to try to make some because I have a whole bunch of ground turkey. And this is just 1 pound, I think. Just a little bit over 1 pound. It's 1 pound, 11 ounces. Okay, so I'll put this in the bowl and just break it up a little bit. I do make another version of a stuffed pepper where it actually uses rice and ground beef in it, but this is not that recipe at all. That's a totally different style recipe than this one. So we have our 1 pound of ground sausage in here. And then to this, we're gonna add 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm hoping that I have enough meat in order to do this recipe. If not, I can just pickle those banana peppers. It's fine because we're doing a pickling project after. So I'm just kind of softening it just a little bit with my hands. And then we're gonna add a couple cloves of garlic. This is just my pre-minced garlic. Now that's not gonna be enough garlic for us. We really love garlic. So I am going to add a little bit of granulated garlic to this as well. And then it calls for onions, but Stephen doesn't like the texture of onions, so I always just put in some granulated onions. So I'm probably gonna put about 1 to 2 teaspoons, maybe 1.5 teaspoons of granulated onion. And then we're gonna put a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes in. I have made this using a spicy Italian sausage and it's delicious. The only thing I do different is I just go really, really easy with these. These are crushed red pepper flakes. So because we're using a mild, I'm probably gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of these. If you really like stuff spicy, you can add whatever you like to your taste. So put in about 1/4 teaspoon, then some pepper. These are our newest things. I love them. I love them. I will leave them linked for you. It makes crushed black pepper so much easier to use. It does take a while for it to come out though. And then we'll add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then you want to add about 2 teaspoons of an Italian seasoning. This is the herb Italian seasoning. It's not the dressing mix. And then about 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan, and then 1 egg. And then we're gonna mix this together. This is the disgusting part. I'm not a fan of doing this. And it really helps to have your cream cheese softened. It makes this step a lot easier. Because we are doing these frozen, I'm not gonna actually pre-make the casserole and put it into the freezer. I just don't have enough casserole dishes to do that. So what I'm gonna do today is just stuff the banana peppers and then flash freeze them. And when I want to make the casserole, I will take these out of the oven. You don't necessarily need to defrost them first before you bake them. It is fine to do them frozen. You're just gonna have to extend the baking time a little bit more. So you're gonna take your stuffed banana peppers from the freezer. Then in a casserole dish, whatever size casserole dish you are using, you are going to take a jar of marinara sauce and you are going to dump it into the casserole dish. Then you are going to take your stuffed banana peppers. I'm just pretending that I'm making it because obviously we don't have any marinara in here. Then you're gonna take your stuffed banana peppers and just put them in with the marinara sauce. Then you will cover this up tightly with aluminum foil or whatever you use as a cover, and you will bake it for 55 minutes. After the 55 minutes, check and make sure that your peppers are soft. Now, because we are putting raw meat in it, this meat is not cooked, so you really wanna make sure that you're cooking it, especially if you are using pork. So you wanna make sure that your peppers are nice and soft. If they are after the 55 minutes, then take the foil off, put a nice thick layer of cheese on top, throw it back in the oven for about another 10 minutes, let that cheese brown up, and then you have your stuffed banana pepper casserole. It is so amazing. We love this recipe. I really wish that I had more banana peppers, but I only planted 1 plant this year because I didn't think that we really needed a lot of it, and then I realized I wanted to do this year. This is kind of like prepping meatballs in a way. This is just a pre-made thing that you just literally have to put in a casserole dish, add sauce, and there you go, you have a meal. So good. All I'm doing is just taking the meat mixture and I'm just stuffing it into the banana peppers. I'm gonna actually end up splitting them because I think I can get more stuff in them if I actually cut them. So let me wash my hands first. So I'll split them open this way. Yeah, you see, you can get way more stuffing in it if you split them open. And it doesn't really make a difference when you're cooking them, if they're split or not. Again, like I said, you could use a turkey Italian sausage in this. That would taste really, really good. I'm actually trying to phase out a lot of pork in my diet. Just find that my stomach is not a super fan of pork. So I've been trying to just kind of reduce the amount that I'm eating. Turkey bacon has been amazing. And again, turkey sausage is also really, really good. So if you don't have pork, that would work too. Or chicken sausage, either one. We're gonna get these flash frozen now, or we're gonna flash freeze these. So I just have a lined baking sheet and I'm just gonna put them on here just to make sure that they're not touching so that they can freeze individually. And then we'll just put these in a Ziploc baggie, and then when we wanna use them, just put them in the casserole dish with the sauce. So that for us is about 2 meals. Probably half would go in one because they're pretty small banana peppers. So I would say that's 2 meals, but that's 2 meals that I have prepped now. We're gonna get started on making the pickled jalapenos. So I am going to use this canning book for it. I will leave it linked in my Amazon storefront, and it is on page 174, and it's just for the hot pepper recipe. Really, really straightforward to do. And again, you can use this for banana peppers, which we're actually gonna do because we didn't have enough stuffing. So we have 5 banana peppers left. So we'll just do 1 jar of these and it's perfectly fine. Same processing time. Everything is the exact same thing. So we're gonna take all of our jalapenos now. First thing we're gonna do is wash them. Let's dump them out. Oh, this isn't a jalapeno. This is one of those sweet bell peppers. Or is it? I think it's a sweet bell pepper. Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay, we'll be risky and say it's a sweet bell pepper. Put it in the fridge. So ones like this that are bad, we're just gonna throw into the compost. And again, I'm not giving my chickens the seeds for these because they are spicy and I don't want them to overheat. These are really good in the winter to give your chickens. It helps warm their tummies up. And this one isn't good either. So I'm just kind of going through here and picking ones that have a lot of bug bites on them. And guys, I can smell the heat coming off of these already, and they're not even cut. Oh, this is gonna be a hot batch of pickled peppers. Okay, let's get these cleaned up. Most important thing, we have our gloves on. So I have a big bowl that I'm gonna put all of my pickle rings into, or not my pickle rings, my pepper rings into. Now I like to cut them into ring sizes. So what I'm gonna do actually first is we're just gonna cut the tops off, and then we're gonna de-seed them again with our little spoon. If you want really, really spicy peppers, you could leave the seeds in, but these peppers are already gonna be hot enough. I do not need to leave the seeds in to make them even hotter. So we're gonna take them out, which is an extra step, but it's gonna be worth it. We got our compost bin and we're just going to put these seeds into there. And if there's a couple left in here, that's fine. I actually do not want to rinse these anymore after this point. I have found in the past when I rinse the peppers at this point, it's just, the heat is insane. I just decided I'm okay with just a couple of seeds, but let's try to get the majority of them out. This is the most time-consuming part of the project. If you don't have a small enough spoon, you can actually use the back of the spoon and it works really well to help release the inside, or a chopstick or a knife. These ones I'm actually trying not to snap them because I want them in nice ring sizes. So I'm trying not to break them. But unfortunately, some of them are getting broken. All right, we got them all cleaned out, cut. So what we're gonna do first, because we have these little bit of banana peppers, just rinse this knife off first. We're just gonna cut these and put these into a separate bowl. So we're just gonna do these in rings. Now, because I've sliced these banana peppers already, the rings are broken. That's fine. So we're just gonna put them in this bowl. We're gonna use the same brine to make those. Every now and then I get a whiff of these peppers and it is literally taking my breath away. So those ones are chopped. Set those aside. Let's get started on the jalapenos. Same thing, we're just gonna do rings with them. And I even use the base end because that's perfectly fine. And then we have a bowl for those. So we'll put the bowl in here and we'll get a cutting. Got them all cut up. I brought the compost bin outside and I brought it in and rinsed it off and straight maced myself. It's very, very strong. Do it with an open window. So we're gonna get the next step done, which is making the brine. Now this recipe that I'm following says 3 pounds of peppers. Now we weighed them out and we had 6 pounds. So I'm gonna double this brine recipe. It says that one recipe makes 5 1-pint jars. So hopefully we'll get about 10 jars out of this. Hopefully. Now I did throw some of the peppers out because they weren't very good. So we may get a little less. That's fine. All right, so we're going to use some white vinegar. Whenever you are canning, you want to make sure that you are using a 5% acidity vinegar. And usually you can find, if it is a 5%, where does it say here? It says right here. Block my face. It says right here in the ingredients that this is a 5%. So that is good for canning. I have heard that there are vinegars out there that are not 5%. So make sure that's what you're using. So we need to have 1 quart plus 2 cups of white vinegar. So 1 quart is 4 cups. So 4, basic math here, 6. Get our vinegar in. Yep, so we got 6 cups of vinegar. Just said that we're doubling this, didn't I? Okay, 12 cups of vinegar. Now we need 2 cups of water, so 4 cups of water. And then we need 3 cloves of crushed garlic. So we're gonna use 6. And I'm just gonna take the back of my knife or the side of my knife and just crush them like that. And then add them to the pot. I'm using nice big cloves of garlic because we like our garlic. All right, so we're gonna get this turned up to a high heat and we wanna bring this to a boil. And then once it gets to a boil, we are going to reduce the heat to a simmer and we're gonna simmer this for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, you wanna discard your garlic and then we're gonna get everything jarred up. Over here, I already have my pint-sized jars in here. We're at a boil now, so I'm going to turn the temperature down to a low and then set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so we have our very hot jars and we're going to take our jalapenos and we're going to stuff the jalapenos into the jars and we're going to leave 1/2 inch of headspace. And you really want to stuff them in because they do shrink when you are canning them. They get all soft. Oops, I forgot one thing. We're gonna do this over again. I forgot one thing I wanna add. We're gonna add some pickle crisp to this. This keeps them from getting soggy, which has been a problem in the past. So because we're doing pints, we're gonna use 1/8 of this pickle crisp. Now we're gonna stuff the jars. Guess I don't really need that funnel. We're gonna go to 1/2 inch headspace. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7 jars of jalapenos, and then we have 1 jar left that's hot. So we're gonna put our banana peppers in here. It's not quite a full pint, but that's okay. We'll get this off the stove top. Now it says to strain your garlic out. I don't really ever do that. It's fine not to do it. If you want to, you can. And then next, we are going to ladle this on top of the pickled jalapenos. You want to make sure that your peppers are all underneath the liquid. We have a little bit of brine left over. I'm not going to waste it. So I have a quart-sized jar here. I'm just going to pour this brine into here using a funnel so I can make less of a mess. So I'm just gonna take this brine, I'm gonna let it cool down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it in my fridge. That brine is going to be perfect to use for some more really small batch canning that I need to do. I don't have to worry about remaking this, just throw it in a saucepan, reheat it, and then I can get a canning project done really quickly. So if you have leftover brine, don't waste it. Now we are using vinegar, so we don't really have to worry about it being too sticky, but I just want to make sure if there's any seeds or anything on the tops that I get them all cleaned. Even if I'm not doing something sticky, I like to do this also because I get to double check and make sure that there's no chips or cracks on the top of the jars. So now we're going to take our lids, get our lids on. We'll get our rings on to fingertip tight. We're gonna get our jars into the water bath canner. I'm probably gonna have to take some of this water out. In fact, I will have to take some of it out. We don't need that much water in it. Get this turned back up. Take a little bit more of that water out. You wanna make sure you have about 1 to 2 inches of water above your jars. Put the lid on. So once it gets to a rolling boil, we are going to water bath can these for 10 minutes. Now that is based on my altitude. Most canning books, I don't know if this one does, but I know for sure you can find it on Google. I'm just checking to see if this cookbook has it. I don't think it does. A lot of the cookbooks do have a guide for your altitude to how long you're needing to can it. And in order to find out your altitude, you can put in your address or your zip code in Google. I think that's how I originally found mine. And it will tell you your altitude. Once you know your altitude, then you can go and reference most canning books and it will tell you how long you would need to water bath can these. So because where I am, we're gonna do 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, I'm gonna turn the element off. I'm gonna take the lid off of the canner. Because I am using an electric stovetop, my heat does not automatically shut off, it stays hotter. So I just take it off of the element completely. If you are using gas, it might be different because I think you can literally just shut it off and it stops the heat. Anyways, so I take it right off. I let it cool down for at least 5 to 10 minutes and then I take them out of the canner. You don't want to take them out right away because it's too much of an adjustment for the jar, and what usually happens is you usually get siphoning or it just doesn't seal right. So you want to make sure that you let it naturally cool down in the canner before you're taking it out. And then I just put them on a towel on my table and I let them cool down for 12 to 24 hours. After that, I take the rings off, wash them, make sure I have seals, and then I put them on my pantry. So that is it. That is a good quick project to get done. Again, you can use that for pepperoncinis, for banana peppers, for jalapenos, any type of hot pepper, serranos, anything like that. You can use this pickling recipe and it will work perfect for that. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.